we're going to go through the installation of the underseat truck storage. Tools you're going to need are a 17mm socket with a 3/8 drive ratchet, a 1/2 inch drive 17mm socket with a 1/2 inch drive torque wrench, a razor knife, and what I'm using to cut the foam is a linoleum knife. What we're going to start with is removing the back seats, and that's done by removing the 8 17mm bolts that are mounted into the floor. We'll start by the first one here. Now you may notice that the truck storage is already in the car. This one's already been installed, so we're just going to use this as an example. Okay, so they're all loose, so just start removing them one by one. This last bolt that I'm taking out is the driver's side inner seat rail, and it's the rear bolt. And the reason why I'm taking this one out last is because this one's for some reason, is a different bolt altogether. It's a different thread pitch. It's just a different bolt. So if you put this in the wrong spot, then you're going to cause a problem with the thread holes. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do is just start pushing up on the seats just to get them to move. You can either pull up on them or just get them up out of the way and slide them back just slightly. This actually takes out this is how easy the box comes out. So this is what we're going to do, is just remove this. So now what you're going to see is this is what the floor looks like after you've cut the foam. Alright, so what you're going to do is just lift these up and just move them back slightly, just so you're exposing the front bolt holes of the seat rails. You're just going to want to make sure that you put the pin in there somewhere so it's not going to come sliding out at you. This reduces the need to take the seats completely out of the truck. Okay, so now you've got all four of the front bolt holes exposed. So what you're going to do next is take the cardboard template. It is going to be marked with the word top on it, and that means it goes up. So place that over the driver's side and the passenger side bolt holes. Now when you cut this out, make sure that you just cut, you don't have to cut the circles out, just cut holes in, or just slices in them, slots in them, so you can set one of the bolts in there. Place one of the bolts inside the template, screw it down, and then do the same on the other side. So now your template is all laid out, and what you're going to do is take a marker, a yellow marker or chalk crayon, or anything that's high visibility that you can take and mark out this spot that you're going to cut. I used a yellow crayon from Home Depot just to use the marks. You just take and mark along the edges on all three boxes, and once you've got the carpet mark, that's when you can cut out. Now you don't need to leave the template in place when you're cutting. It's just there just for marking. So remove the template, then you're done with that. There's no need to keep it any longer. Now what you're going to do is take your razor knife and you're just going to cut along your marks along the outside edges of the carpet. Try to go deep enough to where you're going to actually score the top of the foam. You can do that on all three like before with marking the template. And once you remove the carpet, now make sure that when you cut, you're cutting through the insulation on the bottom of the carpet as well. That's really important because if you don't pull that, it's going to make a mess. You're going to pull it out and it's going to cause a problem. Then take your linoleum knife and that you just take and push in, pull, and that'll get you through all the foam. Okay, and you can remove the foam and try not to cut down into the floor as far as onto the metal. You don't want to have any problems later on. You shouldn't, because there should be no water in your car anyways. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put the box in, and we'll start by just grabbing it and bringing it into the truck. Slide it over. You're going to want to make sure it drops down into the floor to make sure that you've got all the right cuts and everything, and then just make sure that your holes line up in the floor with the back of the bracket. So which these do. So what we're going to do now is lift it back up, lift it forward, and then we're going to start bringing the seats over. What you're going to want to do is be careful with this. So pull up on the seat, or up on the box, and then start bringing the seat forward. And you're going to want to slide the seat frame in between the bracket and the top of the box. So this one's in. And then the same with this side. Lift up on this, bring the seat forward, lift it up, and slide it in. And then make sure the alignment pins drop down into the ground, and you can tell just by listening to it drop, and then it's ready to have the bolts put back in. Okay, so we'll start putting everything back together. Just start by and then going back to that one bolt. The driver's side inner rear seat frame is a different bolt. Make sure you look at it, make sure you put it in the right spot. Okay, get them tightened down snug. Okay, so now with the ratchet, go ahead and just snug the bolts down. There's no order to it, there's no torque sequence or anything like that, so just get them snug. And now you're going to take your torque wrench, make sure that it's set at 31 foot-pounds, and that's really important to make sure that it's torqued back to the factory specifications. What you do is just torque it until it clicks. So that means that when it makes that noise, that means it's at its torque. And that completes the installation. Thanks for watching, and check us out at esptruck.com. Thanks.